Can you believe my crew and I filled this huge dumpster bin? The family's lived in this home for close to 20 years and it's been well lived in. The entire home was packed to the brim with stuff in every single room, hallway, closet, kitchen, and bathrooms. You name it, it was filled. And my team and I have been tasked to clean it up. Hey guys, Gwen here with Intero Real Estate at Burlingame. It's not every day that I get to help a family clear out a big house like this, filled with clutter and things collected throughout the years. Now, we had to get this place cleaned up, fixed up, and rented out. Now, you know, the challenge with a project like this is really just determining what to keep and what to throw away. Now, in this video, I'll be sharing with you my experience on clearing out a house and some tips and tricks to help you if you've been tasked to clear out your family home. Let's jump right into the video and go through the process that I did. So, you know, one of the biggest challenges when trying to tackle a task like this is trying to find space to work with. The house was completely filled, and when I say filled, I mean every single room was filled, bedrooms, bathrooms, the kitchen, the garage, hallways. It was just packed full of stuff, shelves. It's just a bunch of clutter. And so it was just tough to work with because we didn't have any space. And on top of that, while I was going through the house, in one of the kitchen drawers, I noticed that there was 3 can openers in the drawer. And that just was kind of odd to me, having 3 different can openers. And then in the corner in the living room, I saw 4 different computer monitors just stacked up. And then I saw surge protectors plugged in almost every single outlet around the house. So that just gave me a little bit of an insight on the type of situation and environment that I was working with. Luckily for this particular house, we had a very big backyard to work with. So what we ended up doing is we started moving a lot of the stuff outside just to create some space for us to work with, both outside and just inside the house, to organize and divvy up the different items around the house. So once you created some space to work with, the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out what are some of the things that you can reuse and repurpose. For instance, things that you can donate to someone or donate to an organization. This could be pots, pans, dishes, glassware, electronics, TVs even, furniture, anything that you can repurpose to somebody else that somebody else can make use of. The reason why you want to do this is because it's gonna one, help somebody else. You can donate to them and give it to them, have somebody else use that particular item and give it a second life. And 2, it will actually help you with the amount of garbage that you have to throw away, because throwing away garbage gets pretty costly when you're getting these large bins. So those are the things that you should do, try to figure out what you can repurpose and donate. And end of the day, you're going to be helping out the world because you're just throwing away less stuff, less things out to the landfill. So after you figure that out, figure out the organization. So like Salvation Army is a good organization, Goodwill. They'll take a lot of these things and then what they'll do is just repurpose it and sell it. Or you can just have people come by and grab things that they can reuse and repurpose. So we had a lot of people coming by picking up a lot of the pots, pans, glassware, kitchenware, because we had a lot of things like that. A lot of the furniture got picked up. So it helped them out and it helped us because we didn't have to throw that away. The next thing we separated out were the metals. To be honest, you'd be surprised with how much metal you have in a home. So this particular home, there was metals coming from like tables, tools, machinery, metal posts, chairs, like tent posts and rods, things like that. We had a ton of metal, so we separated them out. And the reason for that is because there's actually people out there, recyclers, who come by your house and they pick up the metal. they'll pick them up for free. It's because they can actually resell them to the recyclers. If you can also take them yourself if you want to make a few extra bucks, but we were crunched for time, so we just had the recyclers come by and pick them up for free for us, and they hauled it all away. And I'm so happy that we did that, because to be honest, if we had to throw that away into our bin, we would have had to get an even bigger bin to fill this up, to fill all the stuff that we had to throw away, because we had a lot of metals in this particular property. For some apparent reason, it just collected that much. And then the next thing that we separated out were the wood. Any type of wood that we could reuse, repurpose, we separated them out. So this particular home, we had to do a demo on a bunch of dividers that the owners put up many years ago. They put up dividers, well-built dividers, from like all the way up to the high ceilings. And we broke them up, took them out. The cool thing about this is that there's people out there who actually wanted to pick up the wood, because lumber right now is so expensive. So I had a guy come out and picked up all of the wood that we had, all of the usable wood, and they were building out an extension in their home, because we had huge 15-foot 2x4s, tons of those, headers and stuff. And so instead of throwing them away and having to deal with paying for the bin to throw them away, we had some guy come out and pick up nearly all of the wood that we had. So we saved a ton of money and a ton of energy not having to deal with putting that stuff into the bin and have us deal with throwing it away. So remember that. We never really thought about it, but wood in this particular market right now is very valuable, because lumber is very expensive due to the inflation and the supply chain issues that everyone's facing in every single industry that's out there. Another section that we had to set aside were the non-hazardous materials. So these are basically like paint gallons that homes collected throughout the years because they painted walls or rooms, motor oil, any type of like fluids from automobile repair, solvents, any type of household cleaners, pesticides for like say the garden, anything like that. So all that stuff is actually illegal, or it's not right to throw away into these bins or into the garbage. So you have to set them aside, and when you set them aside, you actually have to call the county, because I believe every county has like a department that will actually collect all of these things. You just have to look it up in your particular county. San Mateo's got one, and the drop-offs here up in the hill in San Mateo Hills off 92. Now for the larger items, and I'm talking about sofas, couches, love seats, mattresses, old appliances, like say an old dishwasher or an old cook range, bathroom vanities, large furniture like dressers, things like that. You can throw them into like a bin, but it's going to take up a lot of the space and a lot of room. Here's a neat little trick which you can do is, a lot of the waste management companies out there for different counties and different cities actually allow you to have bulk item pickups, usually twice a year. So you can set aside a lot of your bulk items. So what we ended up doing is we set aside the mattress that we had to throw away, 2 couches, a large dresser, and an appliance. We set aside to the curb, and they picked it up all for free. The reason why you don't want to throw it away in the dumpster, in the bin, is because they actually charge you extra for that. So for instance, if you were to throw away like a mattress, they'll actually, I believe, charge you $50 to just dispose of that mattress. So you'll save a little bit of money by just setting it aside and calling waste management and having them pick it up for you as part of the service that they provide. And also in some counties, I believe in like say Alameda County, they actually give you coupons as well on top of the 2 bulk item pickups for the year. They give you coupons to be able to just take your bulk items or stuff out to the transfer stations and drop it off if you have a lot of things to throw away. So keep that in mind. Make sure to look up the services or benefits with Waste Management to see what type of benefits that they offer you in your particular city. So basically, after we segregated all of the stuff that we couldn't repurpose, recycle, we ended up just filling up the dumpster bin, just throwing away anything else that we couldn't recycle or repurpose. So this could be like glass, mirrors, plastic bins, old VCR tapes or old DVDs or just old electronics, old furniture that we ended up just breaking down to make it more manageable inside the bin so it wouldn't take up so much space. A lot of gardening stuff, pots that was just large cement pot, a lot of crazy things that just you won't even imagine. But if you've lived in a home for 20 years, you end up collecting a lot of things. So crazy it may seem, we ended up filling a 40-yard dumpster bin, and we ended up having to get another bin because we just didn't have enough space to clear out all of the garbage. So we had a 40-yarder and ended up getting another 10 to 15-yard bin just to clear out the rest of the stuff, and that was also filled up to the brim as well. So at one point we ended up having up to 7 guys working on the house. They were working on hauling stuff out of the house, and once the home was completely empty, we started doing work around the house. We started fixing a lot of the trims, the baseboards, cleaning it up, patching up the walls. We painted the entire house. We updated 2 of the bathrooms, replaced the kitchen hood, the cooktop, cleaned up the cabinets, replaced light fixtures, trimmed and cut down a lot of overgrown trees. So it was a lot of work. One of the key takeaways that I learned from here is that whatever size bin that you think you need, you should always get 1 or 2 sizes bigger. Because what ended up happening with us is that I thought we needed this particular size and I was hesitant to get the larger size. So I got this size and we ended up needing more space. So when you do that, you end up spending a lot more because those guys come out and they have to pick up the bin and then drop off another one, and all of that's added cost. So I ended up getting another bin, which was, I don't know, a couple $100 more, where I could have just gotten the largest bin and filled everything up at that one point. So keep that in mind. If you're doing a project like this and you're having to clear out a house, make sure to get a bin that's 1 or 2 sizes bigger than what you actually think you need. So after 2 weeks, we're almost done, and these are some before pictures, and this is some of the after pictures. As you can see, it's a night and day difference and looks great, and it's almost ready to get rented out. Now, if you have a project that requires you clearing out an entire house like this, give me a call or shoot me a text. I'd be happy to give you some pointers and explain to you how I was able to clean out and fix up this house. Until then, thank you for watching, and check out this next video if you're thinking about making a move.